What's happening? Welcome back to The Past Alive, and thank you for joining me for the return of the Weekend Recap, the weekly series where I showcase my antique, mall, and flea market finds. And this weekend, I went to a big card show in Washington, Pennsylvania, and then I took a trip out to Girard, Ohio for the Toyhio Toy Convention, and I found a lot of stuff. I got a lot of cards and also action figures to share with you. But before I went out there, it was my birthday on Tuesday, so I took the day off work and I went to Johnstown, Pennsylvania to a place called Rare Collectibles, and also stopped off at another antique mall and found some things for my PC. The first one being here, it's Harley Quinn. This is from the Adventures of Batman and Robin. Normally I don't really collect stuff from that cartoon. I collect things from the animated series, which preceded that show. But Harley Quinn did not have a figure for the animated series. This is her first appearance in the Adventures of Batman and Robin toy line. So I couldn't pass on that. It was $13, which I feel like is about half the price they go for. Typically see them for like 30, even more on eBay. And to find in the wild was pretty awesome. I was actually looking to pick one of these up a few months back, and I'm glad I waited on it because I got it for a fraction of the price. So cool to find Harley Quinn out in the wild, and for only $13, could not go wrong. Also, while I was there, this was right around the time that Brooks Robinson passed away. So I was like, I don't think I have a Brooks Robinson autograph. And I like these all-star autographs from Nabisco. These came out in '93. This has a COA with it as well. They're like super cheap for legendary Hall of Famers, Brooks Robinson, Ernie Banks. There's a lot of guys that have them, and I feel like you can get most of them for like $20 or less. And so I figure it was time to pick up a Brooks Robinson for $12 with the COA on-card autograph. Had to add that to my Hall of Famer autograph collection. And then randomly also I found this, I think at another antique mall I stopped at. I think this is 94 Juan Gonzalez Elite for $1. I'm not going to pass on these serial numbered inserts from the 90s, especially Elite. Like I said, I don't really technically collect them, but if I see them for a good price, $10 or less, or even, somewhere in that range, I'll pick them up. I think I picked up the Larry Walker for like less than $20 recently from like 93. Don Russ, but out of 10,000 for $1 for Juan Gonzalez, I'll add that to the other elites. In the mail recently, I was pretty excited to get this. I think this was yesterday this arrived. When I first heard about it, I was real stoked about it. But Danielle Fishel obviously played Topanga on the TV show Boy Meets World, a show that I grew up watching religiously in the 90s. It was part of TGIF, and it ran from, I think, 92 to 99. But I love that show. I still really, really like that show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And, of course, who did not have a crush on Topanga or Danielle Fishel back in that time frame? I know I definitely did. So when I saw that she threw out the first pitch in a recent Phillies game, I was like, I hope Topps now makes a card commemorating that. And sure enough, they did. And I was kind of bummed out because they had autographs, on-card autographs on Topps Now website. They're like $70, but by the time that I got on there and saw, they were already sold out. So I'm happy to pick this one. I think it was like $10 shipped or around there from Topps Now. So Danielle Fishel, a.k.a. Topanga, rookie card. Saturday morning, I went to the Washington Crown Center Mall for I guess they do it twice a year, somewhere around there, but a huge card show, tons of vendors, tons of buyers, just an all-around amazing show. I set up at it the last time, and just a great experience overall. And I did find some good deals. I met up with a viewer, Andrew, from West Virginia, and he hooked me up with a stack of Desert Shield cards. So we'll take a look at those in a second and what I got from Andrew. But let's look at what I picked up from the show. Definitely found some good prices right off the bat there. There's a guy that had an Ichiro rookie from 2001 per deck for $10. He also does Topps rookie for $15, which I thought was a good price also. But I think I have 2 or 3 of those already. Upper deck, I was like, I'm not going to pass on Ichiro rookie for $10. It'd be crazy to. So grabbed the Ichiro rookie. I've been all about Bryce Harper lately. Been trying to buy up more of his rookie cards in the last few weeks. And I was hoping to find his 2012 Topps Chrome and didn't see it anywhere. But I didn't think I had the Bowman Chrome from that year. And it turns out I did. I got home and looked at my rookie box. I'm like, when did I buy that? I really got to make a list at some point in life. So I already had this one. But I picked it up anyways, not knowing. But I think I was most excited out of those 3. I was most excited to pick this one up. This is one I've had my eye on for the last 6+ months. But it's 2011 Topps Chrome. It's Freddie Freeman's rookie card. And it's pretty nice looking too for $20. But anyways, a stack of Desert Shield, courtesy of Andrew, who had a family member that actually fought in Operation Desert Storm. And for you guys that are new to my channel or just new to collecting or whatever else, and you're just not familiar with Desert Shield, there are two different kinds of cards from this era. There's Desert Storm, which are the military cards produced by Topps, and there's Desert Shield. These ones look like 91 Topps cards, but they are all printed with this golden seal. And they are pretty valuable. You know, commons are usually about $5 a piece, typically. And some of the bigger names can go for a lot more than that. Chipper Jones, the biggest card of the set. I did pick that one up probably about last year, but there's still a lot that I needed. And so I was going through all the cards in my binder, seeing which ones I needed to fill the holes, and it was, I can't believe I actually did that, but I definitely needed a lot more than I thought. So I was able to pick up a good bit, you know, a big chunk of probably 25 of them. So we got John Barfield starting it off. And to get them from somebody who actually fought in, you know, the war, you kind of, you know, they're authentic then. Steve Bedrosian is the second one. Jose De Jesus with a printing blemish on the back of it. Mike Dunn. Kevin Wickender. Alvaro Espinoza. And like all these are, I mean, they're pretty decent condition too. Some are better than other ones, but they're all nice in my book. Greg Jeffries. Roberto Kelly. You know what? I'm just going to grab the whole stack and we'll do it that way. No need for suspense here. Cal Daniels, Omar Oliveras, Billy Swift, Scott Kuba, there's Rick Dempsey, Steve Sachs, Jose Aquendo, Chili Davis, Frank Viola, Joe Price, Dave Clark, and so those were all the commons, and then these are the bigger ones. We got a Fisk record breaker, so that's pretty awesome to pick that one up. Paul Molitor, a Puckett, Nolan Ryan record breaker, and Ken Griffey Jr. All-Star card. So definitely crossed some bigger ones off the list in my checklist. So I was pretty excited about that. Major shout out to Andrew. Thank you again, man, for meeting up with me and making a deal on those cards. So after I left the Washington Crown show, when I was on my way out there, I had no idea that there was even a toy convention going on in Girard, Ohio. I was going to go out there and just go to some antique stores. And I think I saw someone posting about it on Facebook. I'm like, that's today? That's sick. So I got there at like 1:30, and still a lot of people set up. I mean, a good bit of dealers in there, lots of awesome nostalgia everywhere, surrounded by it. But as soon as I walked in, there was a guy that had Batman, the animated series figures, and boy, was I stoked, because I don't see these very often at all. Usually, these are bought up, you know, when the show and the doors open. Because, I mean, they're very affordable. Batman the Animated Series was a hit cartoon. Everyone loved it. That was, you know, a kid back in the 90s. It was just an awesome show, and it still holds up to this day. But don't see these too often. And this guy had 3 of them that I needed. Not that I have a ton of them. I mean, I think I probably have 5 or 6 of them now. But there's not a whole lot that I want to get. There's a lot of different variations of Batman and stuff, and I'm not too worried about getting that. I have Combat Belt Batman, which is like the original OG one, and then a whole bunch of different variations. But Scarecrow, Penguin, and Clayface. Clayface, I had all 3 of these guys when I was a kid, and I loved all of them. Clayface is freaking awesome. Very, very unique figure. The Penguin, not a whole lot to him. He's kind of just a short, chubby guy with a long nose, but you know, he was still a good villain regardless. There wasn't too much for the action figure aspect of things. And then Scarecrow, if you held a light to the top of his head, his eyes would glow red, and he had that gnarly sickle. So I saw all these, and I'm like, what? And he's like, if I buy a few of these, will you make me a deal? And he's like, you know what? If you want those 3, he's like, I'll do $100 for you. So 45 plus 60, you know, $135. I got, you know, $35 knocked off. So that was pretty sick. And they're ones I was going to pick up regardless. But, yeah, pretty stoked to finally grab these. And I have most of the ones that I need now. But pretty excited to add these ones to the collection. The Penguin always sells for more. I'm not really sure why that is, if it's like a lesser production rate on him. But there was one point when these were like almost $100. So they have since come down, obviously. But such cool card art, too. I love that Batman logo. And Scarecrow, I mean, $30 for Scarecrow is kind of a typical price. But very, very cool figures. And I was walking around some more, and I came across this one. This was also one of my favorites back in the 90s as far as toys to play with went. and has a $5.99 price tag on it. But it's Harvey Two-Face. These ones are, I haven't looked at them recently as far as value goes or retail price, but they seem to be around 40, 50 bucks the last time I looked. I got this one for $35, which I thought was a pretty good deal. But I love this figure whenever I was a kid. Just so freaking cool. Of course, I lost that necklace probably within minutes of getting it back in the early 90s. But these were made by Kenner. Kenner, one of my favorite toy lines, or toy companies, I should say, of all time. Made the real Ghostbusters and just all kinds of other awesome toys, Star Wars, and everything in between. But so cool. I walked around some more and soaked it all in because there's so much cool stuff to look at, stuff that I want that I don't necessarily need. So it brought me to this box right here. And I don't know where my razor blade's at. I went missing again, of course, in my giant pile of junk. So we're going to manhandle our way inside this box. Now this lady, I was like, do you know what's in there? Do you know if there's baseball or is it multiple sports? And she's like, I have no idea. I'm like, all right, well, I'll give it a shot for $10. It could be all commons, but this is how we're going to end the video. I'm going to try to keep this video under 20 minutes. This looks like a lot of 90s stuff that might be bricked up. Called that one. Especially these ones. 94 Collector's Choice. I was actually planning on opening these tomorrow night for a break. Look at that. Just shoved in there. Oh, geez. Now I'm second guessing that. It all depends on how they're stored, though. I mean, I don't see paper loss, but 94 Collector's Choice might be just a bunch of commons, but you could find Michael Jordan's White Sox rookie in here. Jeez. Yeah, these are pretty bad. We might have to rip something else for tomorrow night's break because might find Alex Rodriguez rookie. He was in Series 2. I don't even think I'm going to gloss over those, but I figure for $10 I'm always going to take the chance. But I mean, come on, why are you putting bricks in there? That's horrible. Damn you, whoever packaged this up. You knew what you were doing. All right, let's see what else we got. If we find anything of redeeming value in this $10 box, these are pretty sweet though. Latrell Sprewell. See if we find any Jordans in here. Because the nice thing about toy shows, like, if you find cards there, which is, it's kind of rare. Like, I bought an Ozzie Smith rookies at toy shows for like $10. A lot of those guys, they don't really care, or they don't really seem to care what stuff, you know, current market on cards are, so you can get pretty good deals. This Nolan Ryan set's pretty sweet. I'm hoping that I can find the Bloody Nose card in here. But I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these just because I don't want the video to be super... There it is! That's freaking sick. So that right there paid for the box for me. I feel like these on eBay are like between $5 and $10 raw. From what I've seen, I did not have this one, and I have a full set sitting next to me, but I didn't want to crack it open. So Nolan Ryan, what a freaking legend! What an absolute legend! Got beamed right in the freaking mouth. So it's a pretty cool set. When I was a kid, I did not like it because these weren't in Beckett. So like, if it wasn't in Beckett, then it wasn't legitimate, basically, in my mind. Got some more basketball. Moses Malone, Horace Grant. I don't know if we're going to find any Jordans in here or not, but stoked that that Ryan was in there. So, got some Mid-90 Stadium Club now. John Maybury. Probably going to find nothing but commons, is what I'm guessing. But you never know. You buy stuff like that. There's a Barkley. You might find like error cards that other people don't know about, like a Mark Whittenair or something like that. Maybe a Mark Jackson tossed in here somewhere, the Menendez brothers in the background. You just never know. I don't really want to spend too much time. There's a Shaq, early Shaq card. I'm not going to spend a lot of time pulling them apart, but unless they come apart easily. But and we got some hoops here. Alonzo Mourning. But we'll glaze over them and see if there's any hidden treasures in here. It seems like they just boxed up a bunch of brick stuff. For the most part. How dare they? There's a Pippen. Can we find a Jordan, though? I'll be surprised if there's a Jordan in here. Be very surprised. I hope there's more baseball, though. It seems like there's a lot of basketball. We got some early 90s studio and some minor league cards. All right, so... and some 94 Pinnacle. Look at that. Look at that brick. See, I've always wanted to open one, like a box of these for a rip, but look at this. Oh, Kurt Schilling takes it. Yeah, these are. I bought a bunch of these when they came out in '94. As a 10-year-old kid, I thought they were so cool, and I wanted the Raul Mondesi out of there for some reason. But yeah, I don't think I could ever go back and open those because I'm sure most of them are ruined. Just a lot of bricks in here. Just absolute sabotage. There's an Ozzie Smith. That's cool though. Brett Boone, 95 Pinnacle, kind of a nice release. 95 Fleer, not really the case. Just what were you thinking that year, Fleer? Mark Clark Tiffany card. So shout out to Sports Card ASMR with that Mark Clark. If you don't follow Sports Card ASMR on YouTube, check him out. He pulled a Mark Clark rookie out of a pack the other day and made a funny comment about it. Jim Tomei insert card, postseason glories, David Robinson. So we got some 92 Stadium Club. Derek Coleman. I can find a Shaq rookie in here. Unlikely. Dennis Rodman. So, I mean, there's definitely some stars and things in here. I used to like these Fleer inserts. Any Bennis Kruk. Can we find a Griffey maybe? Hook us up with a Griffey or a Tony Gwynn. Sheffield paper loss. David Justice. And we got some Hostess cards in here too. How many of you guys like these back in the 90s? These were so cool to get these out of a box of junk food. Larry Walker. There's a Puckett, Donnie Baseball. So they left some decent names in here. A lot of big names, actually. Clemens, Glavin, Bagwell, Will Clark. Is there a Griffey or a Thomas? There's a Larkin. Pat Listash would have been the one I was going nuts for back then. A lot of Donnie Baseballs in there, so not too shabby. Lee Smith. And Delanda Shields for Corey's PC. What else can we find between Jason Beret? Was real stoked on him back in the 90s. Craig Biggio. Or as we called him as kids, Craig Biggio. Dante Bichette, Olerud. It's 94 per deck. Will Clark. And there's a Griffey. Left one Griffey in there for us. Unfortunately, he's one of these scratch-off cards from Collector's Choice. Used to hate those so bad. Brian L. Hunter. Got some more 94 Collector's Choice. Pudge Rodriguez. And we got some rookies in here. We find an A-Rod. Probably not. Terrell Wade. I remember seeing on OfferUp somebody selling a Terrell Wade 94 SP die cut for $15,000. I thought that was pretty funny. For a 5-cent card, it's kind of just asking a little much. What the hell is that? And 92 score comes into play. We'll probably be seeing some more of that here from Needle and Wax Stack coming up. Canseco, the Battle Cry. 93 Leaf. There's a Harold Baines. Yeah, so I mean, I kind of knew it was going to be a bunch of commons, but you never know. You really never. I mean, I bought in boxes that were $10 that were freaking awesome. I bought in ones that sucked. So we got some 94 Upper Deck minor league now. There's Terrell Wade again. I'm about to be rich off all these Terrell Wade cards. And you can find some decent names in this set. 94 Upper Deck was an awesome release. Of course, it's select packs. You can find a Mickey Mantle, Ken Griffey Jr. dual autograph, which is an absolutely insane freaking card. I feel like if you own that, you should be on the witness or in the witness protection program because it is definitely a big card to have. Lofton, just a lot of freaking bricks. So stuff like this, I don't know. I feel like it's just better throwing it away and getting it out of existence. I'm not going to bother pulling these apart. Tom Glavine, we'll see if there's any big names on the top of these stacks. JT Snow would have been all pumped on that one. As a kid, Willie McGee forever had the squinty and uncomfortable, sweaty face. Bo Jackson shows up. There's a hawk for Corey, as he insists on calling him. And back to hoops. Yeah, I mean, based on what I'm seeing here, I don't think we're going to really see any more. Well, look at that. There's a Jordan right there. So we saw a Griffey of some kind and a Jordan of some kind. So put that off to the side and call it a victory and a success. And a Rodman, O'Neal, Mutombo. So not too shabby. There's another Jordan. So, all right. They did leave some meat on the bones for us yet, but I don't think there's going to be any actual base Jordans in here. There's an Elijah one there. Stockton. Well, at least the entire box wasn't like a cinder block, like a 2001 top set. Opening that up and just taking the cinder block out. But got some football in here as well. Some Skybox from the 90s. See if there's any notable names in here. I'm guessing probably not. Doesn't seem to be. So we're going to end this video. It's already over 20 minutes, so I'm sure everyone is bored by now. But that was this weekend's hauls. I was pretty stoked about my pickups. Definitely some key cards that I brought home with me that I needed for my PC, and also some action figures. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about my pickups, what your favorite card was or toy, what you would have bought. I'd love to hear your comments. See y'all back tomorrow night for the Turn Back the Clock Tuesday rip. Have a great night, guys. Thank you all for watching.